Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be building a top speed production car capable of 600 kilometers an hour. I had a lot of fun with this build and I really hope you love the end product. So as of any Brickrigs build, I started by getting the frame down. And I actually had to get another car that I've made in the past to get an idea for how long it should be. Because I knew the other car was too short and wasn't able to sustain the speeds it was meant to. And using that, I was able to get it to a pretty good length, and it actually turned out perfect. Alright, so here we're just getting the front lip down, which is pretty important considering how much the front lip ended up being in the end of the build. It really contributed to a lot of the downforce needed to get the track version going perfectly. Alright, here we're getting the front of the car down. It was quite a difficult task getting the shape I wanted because I wanted it to be quite round, which we'll see once we get it sorted out. But it was just very difficult to do because of the shape I wanted, and like the kind of car it was supposed to be needed it to be like as aerodynamic as possible, and that was just not easy to do with the tools we have in Brickrigs. Just a reminder that most of this build was done on Twitch, so please go follow if you want to get a more in-depth view on how I build, because these time lapses really don't capture exactly what it's like to build in Brickrigs, and in Marble World too. Don't forget that I also do Marble World stuff. Now here we are adding the thrusters, which ended up being a pretty integral part to the build, mostly for looks though, because just by like the mention of thrusters, you may be thinking that that's the only reason it was able to get so fast. But in reality, the thrusters barely increased the top speed, only by like a kilometer or two. So they really did not do much in terms of speed. But in terms of the track car, it really helped it get up to speed faster, and really integral part to the entire thing, really. And without it, I don't think it would have gone as well as it has. This was suggested by someone that was in the chat by the name of Bois, by the way. So yet another reason to join the stream chat. You'll get to influence how the build goes. So just keep that in mind too. Alright, now here we're starting the steering wheel. Now the steering wheel may not feel like an important part of the build, because you don't need the steering wheel to drive in this game, which is that's actually quite interesting. How? Anyways, you kinda, the steering wheel wasn't the easiest thing to make, because there was a lot of connections that had to be made that were difficult to make because of the nature of the brick rig scalables. We can see in the end I did do it, and it turned out fantastic. Alright, now we're getting more into the detail of the vehicle. You can see here just shrinking the size of that glow on the side, because the issue there was that it was hiding the shape of the car when you left editor, so you really could not tell that it even had a scoop on the side there for more air intake. So yeah, and also getting into the front here, we actually improved the front by quite a bit. I think it would have been 10 times worse without that in the front there. Now getting to the back here, I had to fix a little problem that I was having. So basically, anytime the rear end hit anything, it would immediately blow up because the thruster was there. So pretty much what we're doing is just adding a bumper, really, a strong and sturdy one. But I did have to end up moving the thrusters back a little, because what was happening is the collisions weren't accurate enough to realize it was hitting the bumper and not the thrusters. So just move that back a little and it was fine. And now, here we're getting into more of the track car parts of the car. Shrinking the roof because it's going to have a more aerodynamic shape. Later on, you'll see that. As well as making the lip more aerodynamic, or at least adding more downforce for the front, and about to add a wing here. You're gonna see it in just a second. here we are changing up the shape of the back of the car now. Just first adding a little support beam because it's just more realistic. And now changing up the shape so that it's more curved. And the reason I'm doing this is, one, it'll look better, and two, I asked a bunch of builders in this Discord server, and they said it'll look cool, and I was like, yeah, it'll look cool. And that's how that came to be, and it also really turned out well, I think. I don't think that the track card would have looked good if it wasn't for those builders. So thanks to them, I'll probably put their names in the description if I can remember them. Okay, so here we are now just fixing the back, and the issue was just that those little lines in the back just weren't staying because they had nothing to attach to. So it was like kind of like just forcing something to be there when it really did not want to be there. And it didn't work out that way, so just adding that on and just, yeah. Alright, and now it is the moment you've been waiting for. The reveal.